Madam Chair, I would like to call the facilities meeting to order at 4:36.
Okay, go ahead.
And Mr. Robbins, if you could start the meeting with an update, an overview on the varsity campus gatherings.
Sure. The good news is we actually had a full amount of custodians.
Oh,
The first time last Friday, was it?
All four were replaced?
At night.
Oh, okay.
At night
We had an
crew.
AM and a PM.
Yeah, the night crew, we finally had 9 custodians here.
Great.
The bad news was the subs really didn't do a very good job. So we kind of conducted an investigation, and I gave the information to the new management team to hopefully address the problems.
So they're not full-time, they're,
There were subs that were coming to help out. So then we also had a group come in Saturday and address some areas of concern, like the boys' locker room, which was completed and clean. So those are some good things happening. I said to the new management team that if we don't have accountability and somebody supervising what's going on, that not much will change from prior behavior when it comes to substitutes and filling those positions. So it was good and bad to an extent to figure out how our new management team can supply the staff we need to keep the building maintained. The freshman academies crew has not been missing, so they have not had the complaints that I'm aware of in terms of custodial, so that's good. It's just a staffing issue, and it continues to kind of haunt us. But at the very minimum, police department is taken out, so that's a start. So having that kind of facilitated worked out well. Continue to advocate for full staffing and replacement. But again, like today, one of our regular people called off. So, a good day, you're not feeling well, we don't want sick people coming, so that's the way that happens. And so we were with 2 custodians all day again, during the day crew. So still have issues there. Talked to one of the night crew people today. They can come in an hour early, which I think will help because as we're using 2 areas for cafeterias, Commons, aka library, aka Eagle's Nest, is, now requires a lot more kind of upkeep. So I'm going to request that the custodian come in an hour early so that we can get started. Since lunch is over at 2:05, so it's perfect timing. It's just an additional work for this person to do. Hopefully they'll prove that. On the engineer side, I met with new manager, James Franco, who replaces Tony Mueller. I still think there's some ironing out of responsibilities and duties. I've been told that Mr. Franco will be responsible for the overall building. He still thinks he's responsible for just the engineers, which I've now been told 2 different times that that's not accurate. But I do think the new management team came in, and honestly, they're not ready or prepared. So as we go through some hiccups and they get organized, I hope they'll get better results.
all right, so there's a disparity between what you both think is responsibility. He thinks he's responsible for just the building,
Just the engineers.
the
and then
people, the labor.
Kelly Starks, who is the.
This is the new Jones Lang LaSalle contract, right?
Yes.
Okay, so it's a contract, and ask for the contract.
Yeah, I have a
We
meeting.
can have that very quickly.
I have a meeting on Tuesday, facilities.
Okay, I have a very high up at Jones Lang LaSalle. If there's any issues you're running into, you gotta let me know.
I will gladly let you know.
Because the contract's a contract. There should be no question here. And if he doesn't know, then I want a new guy in here. That's the best.
I don't disagree. I think there's a little bit of miscommunication, but I agree with you, a contract's a contract. who's responsible for what, it's really just not, doesn't seem to be clear in the ranks.
Okay. Let me
So,
know, Kat, 'cause I-
we will, they just started October, they started Friday, October 1st. We didn't really see anybody till Tuesday,
Wow.
and that was kind of a flood of people that showed
Hi.
up. Great, glad they were all here, so I met them. Kelly Starks is kind of like the custodial manager that's working with the same Apache people, Gigi. Giselle, she's still the manager for Apache. I honestly don't think I've seen her in 3 years, so I don't, so we're bubbling through. I was happy that we got support. If it was bad support, it was support, and then the cleaning crew Saturday was very helpful.
Did you receive any responses from CPS in regards to the custodians from our meeting with the capital planning people?
No. No. But I think in my notes that I sent to everyone, I think it said that they will advocate, but it's not their area. But we did receive, like I said, we got a show because Kelly was here, the facility manager, her boss Tracy was here, James Franco showed up. So I got a response, I walked them all through the building on the same day.
But Kelly isn't with Jones Lang, it's two separate, they're just
I think
engineers.
Kelly is, like Kelly and Tracy, I think are Jones Lang, and Gigi is still Apache. So we know Jones Lang is a management company.
No, they're not.
So
Mike's not gonna be
they outsource everything. And as I said from the beginning, it won't matter if they're the greatest management company in the world, if they work with the same people who can't supply the quality work that we need, or can't supply people.
called me.
And that's Mr.
She's
Franco.
trying to come.
Mr. Franco, I believe, is also.
We're not gonna take.
Who's
a
Jones,
picture
I'm
tonight.
confused, because
Because
we're
we're
muddling,
gonna add
we're muddling.
Well, we're not, so
custodial.
Franco,
So
Jones
let's
Lang.
stick with
Right, good
engineering,
idea.
so who's our engineering contacts?
James Franco.
Okay. There was a lady.
Yeah, she was.
Okay, so James Franco is our engineering contact for Jones Lang. Okay, and then the Apache is the custodial.
Yep.
That's the
We could talk about it right now.
sloggy
Yep.
part, like.
Okay,
so
so
we
some
could-
are-
yeah.
We could do that right now.
Because I don't want to, otherwise plug
Everyone's
it in
still
somewhere.
doing
in the-
custodial work. And they are, that is Kelly and Tracy. That's them. And they're still responsible for custodians. Now, they have worked with Apache in the past whatever number of years, and that is Gigi.
Are they a sub to Airmark?
Gigi is, yeah, the outsourced,
Apache is a sub to Airmark.
the ones that are supposed to be supplying the labor and the subs for our buildings.
So we're still 4 full-time custodians in need. That was the last report. So
We have 2 full-time right now, and we need 2 more.
okay, I wrote 4 in my notes.
You want,
last
Well, for the day
I
crew,
think it's okay.
for the day crew,
You want to sign them now, so we don't forget.
night crew, we lost another one,
You want to sign our
Oh,
stuff now?
oh,
so there are now,
This is one.
we have 5
And if
full-time.
one doesn't get approved, I'll just take it out.
Okay, so we need 2 AM shift full-time,
For still
This is the budget.
4 PM full-time,
transfers.
Transfers, yeah.
and we have no prospects.
not that I'm aware of.
Now, these subs, are they gonna keep coming in until we get fully?
Mr. Levin, come in, please.
There is a sub.
So we have 6 outstanding full-time custodians? 2 in the day and 4 at night makes 6.
2 and 5, 7.
5 at night.
5 and 7.
Okay.
We're supposed to have 9.
Can I step up for a quick minute?
How many in total are we supposed to have?
9 and 4 is 13.
13 here at varsity.
Correct.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
13 here at varsity. You guys apparently are fully staffed. That's what he said earlier. I heard him say.
He did say full, so no other complaints at the freshman academy.
Are you finding it's not being kept up? Okay. we'll visit that when we get shipped. We're just still talking about the varsity campus.
While he's gone, I have a question. I don't know if it was in facilities where we talked about having lunch and like possibly outdoors. Was that something? Is that where we talked about it?
It came up, I'm not sure in what conversation.
Just because I was talking to some students and they were trying to come up with ideas and things, and like the one place, I don't know what it's called, but it's around a bunch of classrooms, so it'd be loud.
There's a courtyard here. Yeah.
And then I know you had suggested right an entrance in there, that area?
Yeah, the quad, we call that the quad.
So I was wondering, especially, well, and they were talking about things like maybe senior privilege or like some other reasons why you'd be allowed to go out. And of course, the weather's changing. So I said, what about, you see all the restaurants with like the tents? Do you think that would be something like to alleviate, just to help?
Right now, I think we're fine.
Oh,
I
okay.
do, because once the weather starts getting bad, we've got a plan for freshman academy where they're gonna come into that
Okay.
inner area right there. We're gonna get some higher tables so they can feel a little more comfortable there. Here, we're fine too. I mean,
Okay, because of the library?
because of the library, it's open.
Okay.
But as far as, we just don't have the security guards right now to watch them.
Well,
Because
right.
the best place you can put it is in the quad, because you can put one on both ends. But
Right,
that's two right there.
right,
And we don't have two because we normally have two up in the cafeteria. So
right.
we're just a little short right now. So,
Yeah, and you'd need horses.
yeah. And again, I came from Whitney Young. I like open campus. I do. I like the kids to be able
Yeah.
to come. But it was different down there because there was about 12 places they could eat.
Well, right,
real
and you're,
close.
and
Here
we're
we don't
under,
have anything. We
yeah,
have
and the
Brandy's and we got-
staffing
Yeah.
I think is really the issue, because I think you could come up with other things like the horses, and if you had the tents that had this stuff that dropped
Right.
down,
The
they can't
difference
run
between
off.
Whitney Young is those are apartment complexes all around there. So it's not like we're going to have kids in the alleys vaping, and,
Yeah.
and that's going to be crazy.
Right.
And they could be 18 and doing it for all I know, but still,
Yeah,
it's not like
yeah.
apartment buildings where people aren't noticing that. So,
Right,
yeah.
So I'll fill in while Mr. Levins is out. Last week, 4 members of CPS's capital planning came in to meet with us to talk about the units on the roof, the situation in the boys' locker room downstairs with the water. And then it's not their purview, but we did speak with them about the custodians. And they said they would try to, they were emailing their counterparts while they were in the meeting with us. And just like every other industry is struggling to get employees, their CPS is like with the bus drivers,
yeah,
they can't get custodians.
Yeah.
So many schools are facing the same issue, they can't get a labor pool. And those that are coming in have to go through that process of fingerprinting.
Right.
And so the
So it's
group
still
that they
young.
have is working its way through,
okay.
and we may or may not
Get anybody
get
from that
anybody
pool,
from that
right?
pool. So, but I think being down 5, no, we need 7.
Okay. I mean, I don't know how we're meeting
We're down,
COVID protocols to
I was
keep
gonna say,
things
that's one of
clean.
the issues, not just regular
Regular
cleanliness. Like,
Right, we have to have
There's clearly no ability to
upgrades.
do anything that.
I don't know if this is even an option. I know that, I don't know if it was done in the spring when we had just the smaller groupings of kids. But I know when my daughter was a senior, when she went back in the spring, they took the last 3 minutes of class to wipe their area down before
the
they,
students. did.
yeah, the students did. So,
I'm gonna recommend that this Gigi lady and the Aramark contact come in and present to the LSC next week. I want a full report on what's going on. Yeah.
Sorry for the interruption.
Okay, Pat, so next meeting, November, October, is that right? November.
Yeah.
November. We would like the representatives from Aramark and Apache to come in and present to us on the custodial situation here in Taft. Tell them the LSC is requesting a meeting at both the facilities meeting, which is at 4:30, and the main meeting at 6:30. So they need to do 2 presentations.
Yeah.
We, will be at the freshman academy. I don't know exactly where we meet there.
In the multi-purpose room, the
Okay.
cafeteria.
Okay,
Yeah, thank you for reminding me.
yeah, cause
I
I,
wish it was here.
I will make the request.
It's a dining hall.
I know, I know you're very particular about what you call it, I apologize. I wish it was here, I wonder, is a month gonna, no, we need to speak with them. They need to be introduced to us. And if they can't, then they need to respond to the chairman of the LSC and the facilities committee and explain why they won't be in attendance. The things we're looking for are their methodologies of cleaning, why we are short 6 full-time, and what the plan is. We want a plan moving forward, and we want dates. And we want a detailed program of their COVID cleaning practices. And again, I wish it was here, but we can't wait. And I'd like a transition plan. Whomever is taking over for them, I want to know what the transition plan is for Taft. I don't care about CPS, I care about this school. And they should have it. And they should be prepared to present that to us. We don't share anything else that I missed that we want. Ms. Trebbing?
well, did we get any information on the units on the roof? What,
This is completely different, I'm just sticking
Oh,
with
right.
the custodial unit.
okay, okay.
This is our dire
You're-
situation
right.
with the whole cleaning situation.
Okay.
The fact that we are down 5 full-time custodians here at the varsity campus.
Yeah, I'm really curious how they're managing to clean the,
Okay.
lunchrooms in the eating areas, I should say, because it's not just lunchrooms, between, periods.
They need to have a plan for us on how they're executing.
Like, I
their-
think that's a very.
And I'd also like them to bring their scorecard for us, because I think there's a scorecard that's in their contract that they're required to complete. I'd like to see that. Ms. Trebbing, asked about the freshman academy. Yeah, I think we beat the varsity campus custodial issue to bits, but, are we fully staffed at the freshman academy? Okay, so we are. And Ms. Trebbing, is there room for improvement at the freshman academy, do you think? Okay, so we'd also like, very similar, we know we're fully staffed at freshman academy, but we'd like to know if they follow a similar clean pattern and.
Maybe it would help for us to like have transparency about protocol, because again, I know, like, but the individual that's a custodian that works in my section of the building works really hard. Like, and he, and I've told Mr. Levens before, like, it's clear to me that he really pays attention, the art rooms have multiple tracks. He knows that, like, I know he's out because things are not, so I'm not making any claim that he's doing anything wrong or not working, but it's like, he really doesn't have time to mop. His mopping never happens. The stairwells this morning, when we arrived, this is like before start of school, like clearly no one knows what actually, but what is their protocol? I mean, and Mr. Levin's can attest to, sometimes their employer doesn't even give them, like, they're told, well, you can't use a room on a thing, you have to use this special, I mean, it's just like this bizarro, like,
Okay.
what's the protocol of like?
It's accountability time.
Yeah.
We've given them enough rope and they find themselves, so they need to answer to the Taft community on why they're doing such a horrible job. Our kids deserve better. Okay, so that's the custodians. Mr. Levens, while you're gone, I let everyone know that we had a meeting with CPS folks from capital planning to go over the condenser units. They were very receptive. They understood our situation. They have constraints. They have 400 schools? Their priorities are for the schools where the roofs are falling in, I'm sorry if an air conditioning unit's out, you're gonna suffer, you're gonna be warm a little bit, but. So what they committed to was figuring out a way forward. So they're gonna present, Mr. Levens with a strategy on how to start Mr. Levens gave them all 9 condensers, the year, the make, the model. So they've got that information and they're evaluating it and are gonna come back to us with some type of plan on how to either repair them, although at this point, we all know there's a million Band-Aids on these things, or but maybe, to strategically start replacing them as we can, so that we're not waiting till one blows up. The second thing was we walked through the boys' bathroom, locker room downstairs that we all know there's a water issue down there, and they were very acutely interested in the situation because what does water breed?
Mold.
So we never said the M word, but that's a huge safety issue. So again, second big thing, capital planning issue that they are gonna look at is how to remediate the water leakage, and they walked through the exterior of the building, the interior of the building. They were very diligent and they took pictures and asked a lot of questions. So, I'm until it's done and I see it and it's fixed, but it was a good meeting. If they do anything, I don't know, but they seem like an action-oriented group. It's a new group. It was a very positive meeting. And then we threw in the custodians. It wasn't their area of jurisdiction, but they did email their counterparts, so hopefully that'll spark something, but we'll spark something with them coming in and presenting to us next meeting, for sure. And if you want to give them a little heads up on me, so they're prepared, so they don't start crying when they walk in.
Is that even possible to do?
No, it's not. Not good. We're very protective of our space.
I was gonna sound of music.
No. Oh, no.
Ms. Raguso,
Yeah.
thank you for running that meeting, and getting that meeting together, because you got a lot of bigwigs in that, normally would not even know where Taft's at, and they came in our building, and I appreciate that,
Oh,
yeah.
Mr. Rich, that's why I'm here.
I know it's why you're here, I know, but you did it, you
You know
came
what?
through.
Don't thank me until something's done.
Yeah.
That's, like, when something's done, then I can.
Mhm.
Okay, so, and then I think that's it for varsity, right? Campus?
Yeah. I blind clear copy of the LSC for you guys. You should have gotten it from me to allow the reports.
Oh, yes,
The notes from the meeting, so you mentioned earlier that, so you did get it.
I did get it, yes.
Okay.
And the reason, they wanted it to be small because they didn't want, they wanted to be focused, and so, we respected,
Oh,
their
yeah,
wishes.
I would concur.
I work far away.
And at the very minimum, because I was shocked when I was told that, I don't think we have your units on the list. I'm like, really?
Wow,
5 years of work and,
So you remember Mr. Levens entered it into the system?
yeah,
And he's like, I don't know if they got it, there
Right.
never, was a receipt of, thank you for your email, we got it, so at least we're getting
Right.
on the
Now they-
list.
yeah.
yes, they know, it's not me, but the system, that's part of the problem. It's, Airmark, and these are people, Tony I trust, so I don't know.
Yeah.
I was shocked.
They were shocked too.
I was shocked. Okay. But
Allegedly, there's new systems being put into place, so
Yeah.
hopefully that will help Mr. Levens and his team track the capital projects that we're submitting, because we can't even track them right now. We don't even know what they're getting.
that's what I asked for.
So, we'll see. We'll see how this transpires. They know exactly, and we wanted to present ourselves as solution oriented. We're not, gimme, we're entitled, you owe us this. It was, look, we problem solve. We don't sit around and, wait for the sky to fall.
Yeah.
We're very proactive. We have an excellent leadership team. Our teachers are super proactive. There are some things, though, you need to help us on. And these are two of the big biggies right now that are looming over us. So, and they agreed. They were
Right.
very cordial. They understood and they appreciated the fact that this is a solution-oriented team. So, we're not whiners. We're forward thinking. And the end was presenting them with the vision of the natatorium at the freshman campus, which selfishly would get us more parking, but have to get, a $20 million natatorium built to get the parking. But we'll switch to the freshman academies. Anything else on varsity that's new from last meeting?
No, but I will, Bridget, I'll just ask, can you talk about the stairs? So, even though the list that I have is, did you happen to document that?
I thought about that this morning. I bet I can get one tomorrow morning.
Well, so.
I will though. It is just like, it's not, like,
Stairs at freshman
nobody's
academy?
expecting that someone every day is, I mean, at least I'm not, someone is on their hands and knees. But like, there has to be some, like, what are they doing? I mean, I sweep my own classroom because I want to, and I like care about what it looks like. So I'm not complaining about that, that's just like what happens during the day, the stairs are.
The main stairway going?
Just going, yeah, when you still do.
So if I might say, I applaud you, and I think your efforts, for sure. But if I could ask you in the report tonight, as imperative, that even if you're sweeping a room, that's documented. Because if it's every day, a simple, sweep my room, because it's no fault of the custodians at this point. Like, they are hardworking. But if I don't have the documentation, every time I go into these discussions, like I just shared our list with the new people. Said, look, and I know it's not every day, but so people think they're telling on someone, you have to ask everyone. Just the quickest.
Pat, can I add something? But if Bridget wants to sweep her room,
Yeah, I feel like that's different, that's just because it's like they're making ours.
I know, but at the end, but if she comes in the next day and it's not swept, that's a different story.
Sure,
Yeah.
Sure. During the
Okay.
day, I'm saying it's the next, right.
Right.
If you're sweeping your room in the morning.
No, I'm doing it after students have.
Yeah, but that's up to you. That's not on the custodians. The
No,
custodians don't,
totally.
I'm
so
saying,
just
you
to
notice,
clarify.
like, the stairs even,
Yeah.
like,
I thought about that this morning.
honestly, because it's just documentation. It's not,
I know.
and the more
It
documentation.
presents better for him when he's arguing his case.
Yes.
I know.
And it's not hearsay. I'm not making this.
Yes.
Here's a list of
Of the
25
document.
emails of the
Yeah.
same problem.
Yeah, so I can't corral emails.
Can't go to teachers.
People text me photos, people text me, and I'm always like, please put on this list. Like, I don't have time to
Did
pull
you
from all these different
have a
sources.
chance at all to figure
So
out
if it's
if
on the
you
list,
substitute that
dude,
was just
on
a
the list,
rumor?
honestly,
I
it's
emailed you,
It's growing.
Yes.
2 weeks
That's what I
ago,
need.
Friday.
Yeah, I've
The
been
one
in
that
for, I
said
think
that-
the
mesh
folks are
mask?
gonna remind them.
Yeah, I talked to them.
That's what I
Yeah,
thought.
I talked to them, yeah.
So
I get it, people are really busy. I don't need a big paragraph, let's need.
Yeah, we had,
Floor's dirty.
I had a strong
Room
talk with
number,
her. She's a
floor's
really
dirty.
good
Room
shot.
number,
She really
garbage.
is, but
Room
I told
number,
her
that's it.
your
I don't
opinion
need
on COVID and what people
paragraphs.
should be wearing.
A picture, if you got time, upload it, perfect.
Your
If not,
job,
doesn't matter.
she wants to,
But that's, I just
you
can't
don't
say
need
it
to get
enough.
shot.
I get a lot of emails.
You
it
don't,
doesn't matter.
no, you hand out the assignment and you take attendance and you make sure they're doing the assignment. That's your job. So she totally understands.
Okay, I don't want to leave the varsity campus, gentlemen, without talking about the bathrooms. This is
Cool.
something we definitely need to talk about today. Can you give us an update of what's going on? I know my kid has sent, expressed frustration. She's frustrated in the kids that are like, what's wrong with these kids? Why are they doing this? And so, what's sad is you have these kids who are responsible and use the bathroom.
So,
And you got these other group of knuckleheads, and I wish Kat was here so we could, I don't know how we catch these kids doing these things, and I know our discipline, we have no discipline anymore, it's, there's no discipline for kids.
We have this,
Um,
that's overstated.
There's no accountability with these group of kids that are doing this. And even if we catch these kids, I know Kat's hands are tied because we have to talk to them and make them,
You mean restorative justice?
yes, that's what I mean. So can you give us an update about, what's happening with the bathrooms and how we're dealing with this?
okay, so the bathrooms were purposely, this was an ongoing issue, we all know. So we would, all the washroom room, everything was going fine, 2 weeks into the year, then the TikTok challenge, and kind of just threw people over the edge. Or maybe by people, students, kind of just, we don't know anything, we don't know what was going on, but they were red dye or ink over urinals, pulling out plumbing out of the urinals and cause flooding.
That was the freshman academy too, yeah.
Here's both.
Yeah.
Okay?
It's destruction of property, that's the crime.
Yes, so we we basically, as the problems were coming, we were fixing them, and it kept coming.
And we're not
So-
catching the kids that are doing it.
No, I'll get to that in a second, and it's more security, but yes, I work there too, so I can give you insight into that. So basically, with the custodial team we have, sometimes two during the day, you know, the engineers, we'll have 3 of them during the day. And even then, like, on top of the normal work, it was taxing and it was too much. So the TikTok challenge, we had the condensed washrooms. Anytime there were a minimum of 3 male washrooms open, 4 females. Never was it less than that, unless one of them that were open also got flooded or something. So that didn't happen very often. So even after the original destruction, vandalism, we opened up washrooms strategically in different areas with cameras, with walkthroughs, okay? And it still happened. And then it was suggested to me that, well, the girls are being punished for the boys. Yes, the boys' vandalism was more, and it was a little bit, it was more. There were more places kind of get hit, and fine. Now, we have only so much security placements, but what was going on in the girls' washroom? Very talented graffiti artist was coloring in the walls with graffiti. Beautiful, with all the stuff, and then it got a little bit rougher, like, you know.
I know.
So,
Can you tell us how many washrooms there are on each campus? And
sure. 6, 8, 12, 13, 16. I'd say approximately 24
is that,
on this campus.
that's not the private ones for the
There's only,
teachers?
the old building has 2 for, 2 for the students, 2 for the faculty, and the second floor, all they go 1 for students. And over here, yeah, that helps.
Thank you.
Over here,
So good.
this one was documented, this one was for faculty.
Uh-huh.
Over there, we opened it for students. The 2 that are over there, they're for faculty also. But the men's room's been shut down because there's plumbing issues
Yeah.
that haven't been fixed yet, so it's actually, the cylinder's out, it's closed off, so it can be repaired. So it's a lot of bathrooms.
Where are we today? What's happening today? Do you find that it's a luster of destroying in our private, public property, not private, it's public property? Are the kids kind of, the phase, what's the right word, the fad is kind of phasing out, or is it still happening?
Well, we'll find out. So we opened up 116 today. It's been busy, we got testing tomorrow. Don't think I've heard a lot of, I don't know if it's closed down, I'm not sure. Follow up, so today we did open 116. You know, we'll open up another one,
If I could interject, the other thing that we've done is we've asked our teachers to help, which they are. Teachers, we've asked them, don't send kids the first 10 minutes and the last 10 minutes of a class. If you do, don't let them take their phones. Because what happens when they bring their phones with them, they're like, meet me at this bathroom, meet me at this bathroom, or they could say, let me in door number 8, I'm coming. So we've asked a lot of teachers to do that. Also, we've asked teachers to go out in the hallway during the breaks. So now we don't have to have our security officers in the hallways because we have a presence with teachers out there. We've redeployed the security guards to stand by the troubled bathrooms and kind of let kids in. So we don't have 30 kids in there. You kind of have to wait outside a little bit, and when kids are coming out, then they're going in. And the fact that I think kids finally get it, like, wait a minute, we're kind of hurting ourselves when we do this. I've even had kids say, you know, like when I tell them, tell your friends to stop, he goes, Mr. G, if I ever saw a kid doing it, I'd be right in his face and saying, knock it off. So the kids are starting to police themselves a little bit. I think that's all done now with
The
it.
problem is when the students mouth back to the teacher, so I feel bad for the teachers.
Right.
Because they're kind of like, again, I don't know what's up with these kids, they just have zero respect, and there's zero accountability for some, I'm overgeneralizing.
Right. This has been going on for years
I
and
get
years.
it,
Yeah.
but it's disheartening when you have
It is.
teachers who are trying to help, who are being told F you.
Right.
I don't even know how we can even tolerate that.
Well, can you-
and we usually find out who that kid is, and we do progressive discipline with that kid.
Can you, so there's 24 bathrooms at the varsity campus, and how many are open now?
For students, you find out?
Yes, just student. I'm hoping they're not
Four
vandalizing
men,
the.
no, they can't get in, they usually don't get in there. Today was 4 men and 4.
For 3,500 kids.
All day long, all day
It's
long.
safe.
Yeah, you know, I mean, there's other issues like,
No pun intended.
you know, for women needing
Yeah, we get
the
it, yeah.
bathrooms.
Right.
So,
That's why
You know what?
I don't know, I don't know what you can.
We can open them all around and test it, I don't.
You know, I had the opportunity to meet the 2 SRO officers, and I chatted with them for a while, and they're lovely. I think they're really, their heart's here, they wanna help, they wanna do more, they wanna be part of the solution. I think especially with the boys' bathrooms, and they, you know, super respectful of our teachers. They try to reach out to the kids when they think, you know, they can get their ear. I think we need to get them in front of these boys' bathrooms.
I've asked them and they've helped. I'm not their boss.
Well, and
I
there's,
can only suggest it to them.
No, but
there's
they-
only 2 of them, and there's so many bathrooms, I mean, they're not gonna.
There's only 4 open, put one in.
Oh, well, I'm talking about, we're
Ever since
opening,
We've been monitoring them, but it's obviously time consuming, it's a lot.
Yeah.
So when we're in one area, that means another area is not being.
Yeah,
So
I get it.
that's-
so what, are we opening up more bathrooms every day to see what happens, or what are we?
Today, and we'll debrief tomorrow morning.
Our
Was it
goal-
vandalized? Did you
I
check?
don't know yet.
Yeah, our goal is to get them all opened again.
Yeah, again, we have them all open.
Okay, look,
Everything was great.
this isn't about you guys.
No, I
It's
know.
about a stupid TikTok thing.
I know.
And, you know,
The other thing we're
Well,
doing too is that we have a new lunchroom manager and she wasn't aware of this. Where Patty knew this. They were serving oranges and apples. And I told her, Patty and I had this agreement, you don't serve apples and oranges. You serve cut apples. Because what happens is the kids take the apples and oranges and they put them down the toilets
oh,
and it stuffs them. So that's why we went. But our new lunchroom manager didn't know that. So we had that little learning curve going on. But now that's gone right now. Now it's just the cut apples.
Well, I think even with if the TikTok challenge fades away, there's still the issue of vaping and other things that go on in the bathrooms, and I don't know how you handle that with limited staff. I don't know how you handled it with you know what I mean, with full-time staff. It's clearly a lot of bathrooms and a lot of kids, so I don't know.
Yeah, I get the sense though, and Kat reaffirmed this for me today, that kids are vaping less when they came back from COVID. That's how I
Okay.
felt. I mean,
Okay.
the whole other bathroom thing is the thing, but I feel like the kids are not vaping because it was starting to be climax right before we left, and now it's like kids are coming back and they don't seem to be vaping as much in our bathrooms that I see. So maybe a lot of the circulation out there that this is really terrible, maybe it's starting to get to kids.
Yeah, I think that your strategy of having teachers, letting them only go in the middle and keeping their phones is probably gonna,
Yeah, and if I can get
Well, a
100%
lot.
compliance on that, I know it's
It's gonna-
tough, but yeah,
yeah.
it helps.
Yeah, but we know, I know, on the security side, on the washroom side, logical side, 3 bathrooms, 4 bathrooms is not.
so I don't
And-
see Amelia on, but I would be curious she's our student rep. I'd be curious to pick her brain to see, what she thinks. If she's had this conversation with any of her
Right.
student
I don't know
colleagues.
if Tommy or any of those students. That's the other.
Well, she's our student rep.
Well, then if she's not there, is anybody there?
well, I mean, we'll talk about it at the general meeting.
But so logistically, it's not feasible. So what we need, and I'm not talking about vigilantism at all. I don't want students confronting other students.
No.
Yeah,
All we need is for you to anonymously give us tips, give us names,
Yeah.
give us those things. That's the missing link here.
have we put that forth to the student
Of
body?
course,
How?
well, through the bulletin, right, you have a tip line. In fact, I was just talking
They
today,
don't do it.
there's a
Yeah.
tip line. that you can
These
use.
kids aren't gonna snitch.
No,
Okay.
they're not.
But
My
that's
son does not go to the
missing
bathroom.
link, is to see something and say
He just
something.
doesn't go.
So we talked about today, Kat and I just.
I don't know how he
briefed a little bit of
manages
culture and
that.
climate. And one of the things we were Like, how do we reinstitute that messaging, that civic
I can't remember what he said was happening in the
step
bathroom.
up, not
Like he tried
be
again
vigilante,
recently.
not want that.
It's better
If he was
We're
in
having
7th
trouble
grade,
getting in. But
and he
there's
was here,
another issue
and he
with
was
that
scared.
also. Our
It's better.
security team, by the way, is
I
amazing.
said, well, why
as you
didn't you say
know.
something?
But they're
And he was
also so
I
good
know.
at recognizing kids
Hell
as they get to know them.
And they know
haven't
there's no
seen
mask,
these
there's
kids
no
in
camera.
18 months.
They all know the rules.
Some of them they've never
And they're
seen.
still, and they're mad.
And the masks
Yeah.
identifying these kids, so
Yeah.
it's been brutal.
I
So
get it.
Keith, one of our security officers, was in the washroom 238, men's room, 7:32. I was in there at 7:50. 40 people had gone in and out of that bathroom. It's in between that 20-minute period, someone had splashed dye all over the place.
So you know, St. Ignatius had $100,000 worth of damages to their.
It's everywhere.
Oh, I know that. I
It's
just-
everywhere. I get it, and
I
I
know.
appreciate that.
Yeah.
I only care about kids.
I got you, but we're getting better now. I'm just telling you, all bathrooms will be open and hopefully this is
Here's the
gone.
problem. St. Ignatius can afford the $100,000
Yeah,
to fix
well,
their bathrooms.
I'm just
We
saying,
can't.
this, yeah.
So,
So we will continue to open them, and we'll leave them open.
do we have any female, security guards?
Yeah, we have 2 here,
Okay.
varsity
I
and
didn't
2 over
know.
there,
Okay. We have 2 here at the varsity campus?
Yes.
Okay.
and 2 at the freshman.
Will you go over, I don't know if you want to just do that now or if you'll, at the general meeting, how we're doing on our, I know we were understaffed on security. Or has that,
We're still, right now, we're down to, everyone that we wanted to be hired is hired.
We're down to where? Both here or?
Both here,
Okay.
but I had to split it there and here.
And we just had one released. How long did he work for?
Well, it's not official.
Okay, but he's
So
being
that's
investigated.
one down 2.
Okay.
And one is on a medical leave.
Okay.
And one is.
Hey, it's better than the custodian.
so how many are
It
we,
is-
how many are we supposed to have?
We have
How many is the varsity?
5 at the freshman
Wow.
and 9, 10, 10.5 here. 11.5.
Does that include the SROs?
No.
Okay, so.
And that's what we're supposed to have, but we don't.
Correct. We're short of 2.
And that's in a normal, non-COVID pandemic.
You know, as I will always say, our building is a full-service high school. Opportunities to learn, grow as we can. You open the doors, typically it's 6 a.m., now it's 7, just for flow purposes, and we don't close till 8.
And we're operating 7 days a week.
Right now we are.
Mhm.
Even with 16 and a half security officers, it's not enough. And honestly, I don't know what it is. There's a lot of,
Right,
and we were short in the beginnings, you know, it caused the
right.
security team, again, amazes me. They're so committed, dedicated, they work very hard. They've been doing overtime since day 1.
I just wonder if,
And our teachers are helping and our APs are out
We
with
have an incredible
bathrooms.
staff.
Yeah, without a doubt.
We're not facing any issues that other high schools aren't facing.
I know. I know.
Yeah, staffing for shortage across the world.
oh yeah, I just wonder if there's like, because we're now in a different time with, you know, with COVID and with contact tracing and wanting to keep things flowing, if, even if we had these amount, you know, like the fully staffed, would we want to have a couple more just for, like, would that, could that rectify or help with the flow, with, you know, with keeping people from congregating and helping with, you know,
Well, I think what we need first is a full staff.
Yeah.
And then you analyze.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're asking, can you use more security? I don't.
Use more
Of course you can. Use more security, more teachers, more custodians, use more everything.
You know what, but the solution isn't always throwing resources at things. The solution is, like you said, once you're fully staffed, evaluate the situation and see where there's opportunities to create efficiencies and scale. And we've always been able to do that. So I think our issue right now is get us fully staffed.
Yes.
Yep.
That would help. And we're working on it.
Yep.
Okay.
Got another,
Well, of course,
Only fires.
I don't know how the LSC or the facilities committee can help with the bathroom situation, but definitely this is gonna be pretty much a topic of discussion at every, until it sort of hopefully mellows out a little bit.
we'll open them with one. I'm not opposed to that.
I'm not, that's not my answer. I respect your guys' the security team's deployment of these things, but
Yeah, but it's,
it was like Alex said for the girls, and yes, they're destroying property too.
yes, it's just different.
But there's, these other girls, all girls have
Yes.
issues that, and the ones who are destroying the property have issues.
Yes.
Right, and sometimes it's not just a matter of getting to the bathroom, it's needing to be able to change your clothes. Having an extra set of clothes, accidents happen, and that,
Right.
you need to be able to get to a
have
bathroom.
access to it, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else at the varsity campus before we head to the freshman academy? Principal G, anything? Okay. No, I think these are gonna be, hopefully hearing back from the capital planning team from CPS with anything. With anything. We reviewed it, sorry, we can't help you, you're on your own, okay? What they did promise to come back with us was numbers. What's it going to cost, so
Okay.
that we as a body can get on we can work with Principal G and Mr. Levens and say, okay, we need to earmark $175,000 for this year to replace this unit. So that we can be strategic about how we
Yeah.
want to deploy our funds and where to allocate it, if we can. Mr. G is very good at funding necessities. Freshman Academy, so hopefully next meeting, not hopefully, the expectation is that our Aramark and Academy leadership will be there to present to us the items that we suggested. Has the punch list been completed? Because there was still, and the window on the third floor that was,
I don't think,
I know you're.
I gotta walk that building. I haven't been in it since COVID, so I know there were cracks in the dining hall floor, the brand new floor.
My understanding, this is not, I honestly didn't do the pre-work on this, so. And it is completed, but I am not ready to report on
Okay,
it. But I will be next time.
okay. And with the watering of the field, is that still kind of in limbo?
No, I mean, no, water was going.
Okay,
Time consuming and a lot of work.
okay. And
it's the amount of time that he has to spend on that field is.
I imagine him with a hose, like going like this.
We got
Kind of,
the sprinklers,
it's a
yes.
whole, he has to
Yes.
manually, it does look like it's the 1970s or something, but they just, CPS chose to make a field in this way, that now this individual, the building engineer, he's not a groundskeeper.
Oh.
And he
No.
also, sometimes when Aramark custodial falls through, he's picking up, he's doing.
Yeah, he is,
It takes
amazing.
him a very long time to do all of
It
that.
is not good. We've had this conversation with them, and we said, like what I said last week in the other meeting, they created this massive property for $1, it's awesome, but now that you can't maintain it on the
Yeah,
plan.
the maintenance of it.
Yeah.
Cody?
Ms. Trubbing, you're a representative from the Freshman Academy. Is there any facility issues that you can think of that we need to discuss at the meeting?
I don't know, there's nothing that's like
Doesn't know.
facility specific that I can.
And I would hope not, it's a brand new building.
Yeah, there's nothing on the list either. I mean, that kind of goes back to, I was checking it daily. Gotta tell you, I'm a little bit behind on it, but the last time I checked it, I was really just getting cleanliness issues, but I'm not getting any other like plumbing or anything like that. I'm a
Okay.
freshman
Yeah,
list.
yeah.
And this goes back to my tweet that everybody just lets me know what's going on.
Yeah.
Just because, and I'm not there very often.
Right.
I was there in the summer, but since school started, I haven't been there.
That's why I got
Yeah,
the guys
well, but that's what I need the staff to remember is.
speak up.
Yes, just record it, and that helps.
Do you feel that the staff, they are confident in the process of reporting facility issues? Or would it be helpful to send a reminder out?
I mean, I personally sent a reminder to everyone last week.
Oh,
good. Had a conversation.
Terrific.
So
Good.
there is a
Terrific.
form, and
Yes.
it's one of the most used, it's an easy form.
Okay, good, that's perfect.
Did you send that out, is that just at the TFA or is that here also?
Cool.
It's the
Okay.
same process, but
Okay.
sometimes
Yeah.
And I will still say, we have filled every PPP request within 24 hours on the form.
That's great. And that should be recorded, right, in your, like, you could say a 98% success rate. Good. Okay,
I don't think we've missed one that I've noticed. So I
okay.
should say, but
Mr. Levens, it's 5:26, I want to be respectful so we can start budget on time. Is there anything else facilities related, either the varsity, freshman academy, or any other unrelated facilities issues? Principal G, did we cover everything you wanted to cover?
Yeah,
Is there
yeah, you're doing a great
anyone
job.
online that has any questions facility-wise? If you want to put it in the comment section, we have a few minutes to discuss. If not, Madam Chair, I will close the Facilities Committee meeting at 5:27.
Okay, meeting is closed.
Conclude.
It's closed.
Close it up.
Locked in the lockbox.